All right, we're live. Blessings, everyone. My name is Jess Martinez. I'm the CEO and founder of Somebody's Auntie LLC, and we are back with another video. Today, we are going to be talking with an amazing business owner who's changing the game when it comes to natural hair products. So I'm going to let her introduce herself, but I'm very excited for today. Share this with a friend, and let's jump in. Hi.
Hello.
So introduce yourself, tell the people who are you and what is it that you have going on.
Okay, cool. So my name is Amaka. I'm the CEO and founder of Uche. And so what we do is we match people with textured hair to products based on their unique hair type. So the idea is to help people solve, how difficult it is to know which products to use for your natural hair. We all have very diverse sort of hair types and hair needs. And it can be really overwhelming when you're stood in the beauty supply store and there are hundreds of different products to choose from. So what we're trying to do is help people out, using science and being able to really look based on the ingredients lists of products, connect people to things which will work really well for them. And it's all Black owned and Black founded brands that we offer.
We love that. We love that. Oh my goodness. Wow. So I remember when I found out about your brand, I'm pretty sure my jaw dropped on the floor because I, of all people, and a lot of naturalistas we know, we just go and we have this trial and error period where we're just like, yeah, you just have to experiment and find out what product would be good and try this product and try that product. And then you use a product one time, it does not work. And then now you just have the whole collection sitting in your cabinet and it's completely wasteful. You have to give it to someone else. And yeah, it's a mess. So can you tell me what was this birthed out of and how did you come up with such a creative idea?
Yeah, and I think it's such a I just love how you described sort of that situation, because people talk about trial and error being like the only way, and that's insane. Do you know what I mean? Like that's actually, especially given the amount of information that's already out there about like what works for different people. The idea of shopping blindly is just absolutely crazy and ends up people spending loads of money. So the reason, kind of the way that it kind of got started for me in regard to this idea is, so during COVID, everything comes out of COVID. I was mainly in the States, in America, but I came home to England briefly. I live in New York, but my family's in England. And when I got home, I had a lot more time to, dedicate to things like exploring my hair. And I'm someone who just loves to do research. And it's like something that I personally enjoy. And I found that if you are able to just look at what the ingredients contain and you're able to know how that affects your specific hair, the trial and error just doesn't really need to happen. Like I was finding myself able to just buy something and have it work versus, pre-COVID, when I obviously didn't have that much time, I would just go in, grab things based on the marketing or whatever had the nicer bottle or whatever was like the trend. And I started to realize at that time that it really is a really disempowering way to shop when you're constantly getting things that don't work. It starts making you feel like you're the problem, and that's just like not the case. And so when I realized, I have this, little spreadsheet that works well for me for picking products, I thought like, hey, wait a second, if I'm having this problem, other people might be having it as well. And so that's where I found myself I started like an Instagram account and just would put, the research that I had, on the stories, like, based on this product, like people with this curl type and this porosity level and this like coarseness in their hair, they tend to really like this product over this product. And I just did that a bunch and found that I started getting people being like, hey, like I'm getting introduced to all these new products, like, can I buy them? And so that's when I thought, what a wonderful opportunity for Black business owners to, instead of making them, compete for Facebook ads on the internet and really struggle to find exposure, you can connect people to them using the science and the data and just have it be a bit of a win-win situation for the Black community. So that's a little bit of a roundabout way as to how I got there. But it was just like, solving a problem for myself. Like I found like, oh, if you just use the research that already exists and the brands, hundreds of them, right? It's not like there aren't many, there are loads to choose from. So I figured that'd be a good way to help people navigate.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that you shared that, how many brands there are, because I remember when I was growing up and when I first went natural, this was like the early 2000s where we really only had 2 or 3 products. It was the pink oil, the grease, and you maybe had one, cream of nature something. But they
Yeah.
also you were like they provided the relaxers as well. So the fact that we have now moved into a different era where we have a lot more access to these brands, I think your platform creates a space where it's like a one-stop shop, which I think is awesome. And you're also putting AI into it, so it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, like tell me about the AI. I love the AI.
Yeah, and it's one of those things I'm always thoughtful about how to describe the technology element, because some people find it interesting, some people are like, well, if it works, it works. So this is the thing, right? The technology to be able to basically train a machine to follow the patterns that you're able to train it on. Like an easy example is like hydrolyzed wheat protein. That's protein molecule. Because it's hydrolyzed, it's a little bit on the smaller side, but it's still a protein. If you're able to say, hey, anybody with extreme low porosity hair as defined by X or Y characteristics, don't recommend a product that has hydrolyzed proteins in the first 6 ingredients. Very, very, very straightforward. That is something that for an individual person who doesn't know the science, is really difficult and impractical to do. For a machine, which is trained by Black people who care about Black hair and care about making sure people have the right things, it becomes very straightforward. So what we're able to do really is using a corpus of, scientific research about ingredients and how they affect natural hair, we're able to train a machine to be able to direct people to things based on their hair types. And that's kind of just the start. And one of the things I'm really excited about is having it trained on reviews data, because there are a lot of things which is subjective, which is really hard to gauge from like a scientific paper. For example, whether something truly has slip, whether something makes somebody's hair feel soft versus weighed down. Something that I thought is really cool, and you'll know this because you're in this space. Remember like Makeup Alley? You remember Makeup Alley, right?
Makeup Alley?
So it was this forum, like in the olden days or whatever, where they just had loads of reviews of mini makeup products. And they just had loads and loads. And they would say like people's skin shade and like oiliness and blah, blah, blah. So you could filter and know if something would work for people who had skin like you. And this was like a forum. And so I
Wow.
figured, imagine if based on reviews, you can also tag products such that, some people don't like, right now I have my hair blown out. I don't like when my hair is straight. At least my natural hair is straight. I don't like that.
Me
And so
neither.
there are certain things which will, like if it doesn't give me this effect, I don't like it. And so what you're able to do if you kind of use reviews data is actually get even more close to people's preferences, because you can capture that subjectivity. And the idea really, if I kind of boil it back, is using information that people provide in large masses and training a machine so you get something that is close to unbiased as possible. And that's really, really hard to do when it's social media ads. Like that, we all know those algorithms are not unbiased.
Right. Yeah. And I'm just so glad that you shared that, because I don't know if y'all can tell, but she's smart. Okay. She knows her stuff. She's talking about the molecules and everything. I'm like, yes, okay. What's my what molecule gonna work good for my hair? I love it. I absolutely love it because it also just it brings joy to my heart to just see more Black and brown people stepping into STEM and technology and science and research and doing the research for us, and then putting our dollars behind it, backing it, and really supporting it. It's just such a beautiful thing. I absolutely love it. So
Yeah.
one of the
And
things you
also, to clarify, I have a technology background, not a science background. This is data, this is research, these are publications you can all read, right? What we do is we put it together and then we train the algorithm. We don't do the actual research. Just wanted to make sure it's clear that, it's looking at data that's already there versus us being like researchers.
I love it. Listen, however you get the information, I'm here for it. Okay. I absolutely am just like ecstatic about the whole thing. So I had the honor and privilege of using your website today and ordering some really awesome products. So I used the chat and and I got some recommendations on what products are going to be good for my hair based off of the information I gave. I just want to put that out there. It was the information that I provided on my hair. So what I know about my hair. And I got matched with some products. And honestly, I haven't tried any of these products before, so I'm excited.
Yes.
They're going to, yes, I haven't tried any of them. And I've been wanting to try the pattern. So I'm excited. And I've been wanting to do a detox as well because everyone talks about detoxes. So I am very excited. Once those products come, I'm going to be using them, and I'm going to make another video, and I'm going to share it with everyone and give you guys my honest opinion. So far, one thing I loved about when I went on and was using the chat was that I was able to get more than one recommendation. I thought that was very helpful. The other thing I thought was really cool was talking about porosity and how there is this quiz that people have been using in the past, and maybe some of that being debunked. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm talking about the float test. So back in the day, earlier on, when people were starting to try to incorporate the porosity into their hair regimens, there was a test that was kind of went viral on social media where you put a strand of hair in water to see if it floats or not, and that being how to know what your hair porosity is. The challenge with that test is it's like, on the face of it, there are too many other variables which will determine whether the strand floats or sinks aside from porosity. So the temperature of the water, the mineral content, how long it's been in the, all of these things have an effect. So the float or sink just doesn't actually mean a whole lot. Even if it did, every strand is different and every strand has a different porosity. And so even if I pulled this strand out and it was high porosity, that doesn't mean every single strand is high porosity. This could actually be the only high porosity strand on my hair. And so it's much better to go based on how your hair reacts, because that's something that you do know really well. We all know how long our hair takes to dry when it's got no product in it. We all know there are certain people, particularly people with looser curl types, they hate like certain heavy products, and they'll be able to tell you, my hair doesn't like coconut oil. We know how our hair reacts, and based on its behavior, you can see what the patterns are and then know where you lie on the porosity spectrum, because it is a spectrum, it isn't a category, and most people lie on the spectrum.
I love that spectrum. We're on a spectrum, and I'm glad I'm hearing more people talking about we have more than, some people do, and majority of us have more than one hair type. And that's something that I always noticed in my hair type. And also my hair type has also changed. Like, my strands have changed. I know that sounds wild. Like, what do you mean? I've been natural for over a decade. My hair has been healthy for a very long time. And in the last 3 years, as my hair has gotten even longer, my curl pattern has changed. I'm telling you, I'm like looking at my hair, I'm like, what's going on here? But it's not in a bad way. It's a beautiful thing. And it's really, one of those things where I think people have started to ask me questions about my hair. Like, I don't do hot oil treatments. That was one of the things on the quiz. I don't do that. And that's okay. I was just on someone else's live, and they were like, hey, do you do protein? I don't do none of that stuff, right? But it's not that I'm against it. It's also not that I'm not down for it. But I've done a very simplistic method with my hair and managing my hair and leaving it alone. I try to do low tension hairstyles. I try not to use products that have silicone and other things that are going to build up on my hair. I let my hair air dry. I really do my best to just leave it alone. And so I'm excited to try these products, and yeah, I can't wait to see what comes of this and how it continues to grow over time, and what other amazing products are going to be on there. And I'm just excited.
I'm excited too, and I love that you shared that you have your own philosophy on your hair, because everyone knows their hair best, and you like to keep it simple. I think that often a lot of trends come out and people want to hop onto a trend, which isn't necessarily bad in itself. At the end of the day, different things work for different people. A lot of the advice that Uche, our AI bot, plus the other information that's shared on our platform, it's intended for people to pick and choose what works well for them and to stack the habits which end up giving them good results. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about everybody doing the same thing because not everybody's hair needs the same thing. And also, you don't need to follow every single rule for like healthy hair.
Right.
You just follow as many rules as makes sense for your lifestyle and gives you the hair that you want to have. So it's all very personalized, which is and personal, which is why, I feel very strongly about, letting our individuality lead our, hair care decisions.
Beautiful. Just beautiful. I love it. I don't want to keep you too long. Did you have anything else you wanted to share, or can you tell the people where they can find you, where they can follow you, all that good stuff?
Sure. So you can follow me I'm on Instagram and TikTok. Handle is Uche_gang. Uche spelled UCHE_gang. So you can follow me either TikTok or Instagram, or you can check out our website, which is Uche UCHE at sorry, www.uche.co. So that's www.uche.co. For all of you guys who are Nigerian, I'm sure you recognize the name. Uche means intention in the Uber language. And so a big mission of ours is helping people shop more with intention, both thinking about their hair more, thoughtfully, and also how we spend our money. Supporting Black-owned businesses is a massive way we can actually close the racial wealth gap and lift up our communities. So thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to put all the information as well down below. And yeah, I will talk to you very soon once I get those products.